Let's get some more analysis now over in the United States with Annelise Nielsen. So, I mean, there's a lot of people, as Nick just pointed out, Annelise, there's a lot of folks, and we said it here on our show, strongly doubted that Donald Trump was going to make a military move on Greenland, but it all formed, part of his negotiating style where, you come in hot and you end up coming down a few notches. But just bring us up to speed with what's happened, because Donald Trump certainly believes that he's got a result here.
And look, I think the Trump strategy is that he wanted to make them jump, and they jumped. When they saw that there were military personnel being moved into Greenland when he made that threat, he knew that he'd spooked them. And this is how he opens negotiations. This is a long-term legacy planning for Donald Trump in how he's approaching this presidency. He's still got 3 years to do this, and he knows that he wants Greenland by the end of this. It's not just the strategic location, those trade routes that go through the north, the Arctic, that will be in particular of importance to Russia. But for Trump, he really wants to build that legacy off the McKinley legacy. Now, that was the president in the US in the 1890s. He was very famous for introducing protectionist tariffs, making America a world power, but he had that territorial expansion. Trump wants that territorial expansion. He's not going to let this go. And so I don't know what's come out of these negotiations today that's made him feel better, but I would say, bottom dollar, I would bet that Trump is going to get Greenland by the end of the next 3 years.
What cost, Annelise? I mean, I tell you what, I spoke to a member of the government out of Denmark yesterday, and I said, in the words of Don Corleone, what if there's an offer that you cannot refuse? And he sort of squibbed that and said, no, there's going to be no offer. But money talks, doesn't it?
It does. And look, Denmark's actually doing a lot better financially because of Novo Nordisk, the company that makes Ozempic that has taken the world by storm. But they do spend a lot of money on Greenland. There's been a lot of tension with Greenland and how they've treated the native people there for quite some time. But Greenland wants independence. The reality is they don't have the kind of resources, industry there to be able to sustain it themselves. They rely heavily on government handouts. And so I think there will be a bottom dollar figure that they can throw at this to make it happen. Trump's saying this isn't about critical minerals. I think he knows that in this context of Davos speaking to these European leaders that they need to make the strategic point. But I think at the end of the day, you're not going to squib at the idea that there's a lot of really valuable critical minerals there, and Russia would have its eyes on it as well.
Sure.
And so I think at some point it will come down to saying to Europe, wouldn't you rather it's us than Russia?
Well, and further to that, as we know, Annelise, that China's got 90% of the world's rare earths. Greenland holds an estimated 1.5 million metric tonnes of rare... And, rare earths, you need it to make everything. It's not that rare, but just that China's got most of it. So Greenland holds 1.5 million metric tonnes of rare earth reserves, and it does not have the commercial production to be able to access it. United States surely does.
Or they'd figure it out really quickly. And then this is the other problem, though, with critical minerals, is the actual processing of it. A lot of that comes through China now as well. And so there's that kind of idea that they need to increase industrial expansion here. This is the Trump method. We saw it with East Wing. He's going to get stuff done and ask permission later. So there's that kind of idea that we're going to get this done. But it's a big task. I think, though, this is at the heart of the legacy that Trump wants to build. And so this isn't just kind of a flippant thought. He's not just trying to shake the cage for the sake of it. He really wants Greenland. Well, and he's going to make it happen.